Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renee Novak at blessedbycards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm coming from St. Louis, Missouri. I am here today to share with you a Make It Monday tutorial. And today I have two birthday cards, and we're using the Trusty tools, and we're using the Happy Birthday from the Right Words. And in both of my cards, I'm using the same Happy Birthday and the same brushes from the Trusty Tools stamp set. Okay, so the first card is just a Blackberry Bliss. And what I did was I stamped the three brushes on a piece of white cardstock. And then I added the end piece. There's a stamp in there that has a little bit of the brush when you dip it into the paint. And I did take a colored pencil, a gray coloring pencil, and added a little bit of color onto the brushes. But for the brush going the strokes, what I did was I took a sponge dauber and I put it in the Blackberry Bliss, and I just pulled that color out in a downward position or a sideways position. But if you do it this way, but it'd be downward. So however you want to do it with your sponge dauber. And I did use a sponge dauber versus the blending brush because the blending brush was a little too fat. Okay, and so the second one is Mossy Meadow. Again, I just used a sponge dauber to pull that color out, then stamp the Happy Birthday from the Right Words in Mossy Meadow, and the last one is Crushed Curry. And then I put the white on the inside, and you can decorate however you want. Our second card, I used those same brushes, and I just randomly stamped them all over a piece of white. Now, all the supplies and all the measurements for everything I'm using today will be on my blog at blessedbycards.com. So the supplies and the measurements. So this is like a 3 3/4 by 5, and I just stamped all over that. And then I took the Granny Apple Green and the Petunia Pop and added the little stamp image on the bottom of the brush. I didn't use any sponge daubers or anything. I didn't do anything like that. You can color a little bit of the brushes. I just took, again, a gray pencil and just lightly did some accents on the brush themselves. And then the Happy Birthday is from, again, that same, the Right Words. I mounted it on a piece of Petunia Pop, and that is our card-based Petunia Pop. And then on the inside, you can add a piece of white if you want, or this is light enough that you could write your message right there. So that is our second card for today's Make It Monday tutorial. So join me on Wednesday for 2 more cards that I'm going to create and use this same set, but I'm also going to share with you how to use some painter's tape to do a couple techniques that will create a couple cards with this stamp set. So please join me on Wednesday. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, be blessed.